In the last video, we exposed one of the quietest psychological weapons in human behavior, reverse psychology. A technique so subtle that when it's used on you, it doesn't feel like manipulation at all. It feels like freedom. It feels like your own decision. But what most people don't realize is that reverse psychology isn't just a single trick. It's a collection of tactics, different setups, different psychological triggers, different ways of quietly steering someone's reactions without ever appearing controlling. And once you learn to recognize those patterns, something interesting starts to happen. You begin noticing them everywhere. In conversations, in relationships, in marketing, at work, and even on social media. Welcome to DarkMind Academy, the place where we expose the psychological weapons people use every day, often without even realizing how powerful they are. Today, we're breaking down 12 reverse psychology tactics manipulators use every day. Some of these are subtle. Some are obvious once you see them. But all of them rely on one simple fact about the human mind. People hate being told what they can't do. And the moment someone challenges their freedom, their ego reacts. Let's begin. The first tactic is called the "you probably can't" challenge. This is one of the most direct forms of reverse psychology. Instead of telling someone to do something, the manipulator questions whether they're capable of doing it. They might say something like, "This job is extremely demanding. I'm not sure you're ready for that kind of pressure." Or, "I just don't think this lifestyle is something you could handle." Now, logically, the person hearing this should pause and evaluate the situation. But the brain rarely reacts logically when pride is involved. Instead, something emotional activates. The target begins to feel underestimated. And that feeling triggers a strong urge to prove the statement wrong. Suddenly, the challenge becomes personal. Now, they want to demonstrate their capability. And that emotional reaction pushes them exactly where the manipulator wanted them to go. The second tactic is called the doubt seed. This tactic is quieter. Instead of openly challenging someone, the manipulator plants a subtle suggestion of doubt. For example, "You seem like a really kind person, maybe too kind for this type of industry." Or, "You're a good person. I just don't know if this environment is built for people like you." Notice how this works. The manipulator never directly says you can't succeed. They simply introduce uncertainty. And many people respond by trying to prove the doubt wrong. They push themselves harder. They invest more time and energy, all because of a single carefully placed sentence. The third tactic is the forbidden fruit effect. Humans are naturally drawn to things that feel restricted. When something is labeled as not for you, curiosity increases, interest grows, and the restriction itself becomes attractive. Manipulators understand this. They might say, "You probably shouldn't even look into this opportunity. It's only for serious people." Or, "This information is too advanced for most beginners." Suddenly, the opportunity feels exclusive, and the target feels motivated to prove they belong. The restriction becomes the hook. The fourth tactic is the backhanded challenge. This happens when praise is mixed with subtle doubt. For example, "You're talented, but this level of competition is brutal." Or, "You're smart, but this environment destroys most people." Now, the target experiences two emotions at the same time: recognition and challenge. And many people instinctively try to prove they deserve the praise completely. So they push harder. They commit deeper, often without realizing the psychological setup behind the statement. The fifth tactic is fake reluctance. This is when someone pretends they don't want to reveal something. They say things like, "I probably shouldn't tell you this," or "You might not be ready to hear this yet." Immediately, curiosity activates. Your brain becomes focused on the hidden information. You start wondering what they're holding back. And the more they hesitate, the more your curiosity grows. Eventually, they reveal the information slowly, making it feel like something exclusive, something you had to earn. But the truth is, the entire situation was designed to pull your attention in. The sixth tactic is self-deprecation reverse psychology. This tactic flips the direction of the challenge. Instead of questioning your ability, the manipulator questions themselves. They say things like, "I'm too complicated for most people," Or, most people can't handle my personality. Now the listener often reacts by reassuring them. They respond with statements like, I'm not like most people. I can handle it. And just like that, they voluntarily take on the role the manipulator wanted them to step into. Without pressure, without persuasion, just a reaction. The seventh tactic is scarcity reversal. This is extremely common in marketing and sales. Instead of aggressively pushing a product or opportunity, the seller pulls back. They say, this program isn't for everyone, or we only accept a limited number of people. Suddenly, the offer feels rare. And when something feels rare, the human brain begins to value it more. Scarcity creates urgency, and reverse psychology amplifies that urgency by making the opportunity feel selective. The eighth tactic is authority doubt. This tactic challenges the opinions of authority figures. For example, my advisor told me not to do this, or my friends think this is a bad idea. Now, the listener often reacts by contradicting the authority figure. They want to show that the authority is wrong, and in doing so, they become more emotionally invested in the situation. The ninth tactic is group pressure reverse psychology. This tactic involves referencing the opinions of other people. Someone might say, my friends don't think you're ready for this level. Now, the challenge becomes social. It's no longer just about ability. It's about reputation. And many people feel an urge to defend their image. They want to prove the group wrong. And that reaction pushes them deeper into the situation. The 10th tactic is digital reverse psychology. This tactic has exploded on social media. Creators post statements like, don't watch this if you're easily offended, or only a few people will understand this. What happens next? Curiosity spreads. People click. They want to prove they're part of the group that understands. The challenge itself becomes the marketing strategy. The 11th tactic is the long game setup. This one works slowly over time. Someone might say, we probably shouldn't talk every day, or this might become too intense. Ironically, those warnings often create the opposite effect. They increase emotional curiosity. They create tension, and many people move closer instead of stepping back. The 12th tactic is the exit threat. This is often used in unstable relationships. Someone says, maybe we should just end this, or you might be happier without me. Instead of walking away, the other person often panics. They chase. They try to fix the situation, and the emotional power shifts back to the person who threatened to leave. Now here's something important to understand. Not every person who uses these phrases is intentionally manipulating you. Sometimes people speak this way without realizing the psychological effect. But when these patterns appear repeatedly, the outcome becomes the same. Your reactions are being guided, your emotions are being influenced, and your decisions begin responding to challenges instead of your own values. That's when reverse psychology becomes dangerous. Because life decisions shouldn't come from ego battles. They should come from clarity. So the next time someone says something like, you probably wouldn't understand. You might not be ready. This isn't for people like you. Pause. Take a moment. Ask yourself one simple question. If it said the opposite, would I still want this? If the answer changes, then your reaction might be exactly what they were hoping for. And in the next video, we're going to break down 10 clear signs someone is using reverse psychology on you. Signals most people miss until the pattern becomes obvious. Once you learn those signs, spotting manipulation becomes far easier. Until then, stay aware. Because the most effective psychological weapons are rarely loud. They're quiet, subtle, and often hidden inside ordinary conversations.